Welcome back, friends. I'm your host, Johnny Rogers, and today, back by popular demand, we will be bringing you the top 10 scary Pokemon Creepypastas Part 2. Coming in at number 10, The Shadow. This creepypasta is about a gamer who believes Pokemon are stalking him in real life. After his older brother died, he left behind a lot of his old games, and our protagonist decides to play some of the Pokemon games and even continues from where his brother left off. He notices something a bit weird though. All of the Pokemon in the wild that he came across were Gengars, and when entering into battle with one of them, his Pokemon looked absolutely frightened. He continued anyways, and when trying to catch the wild Pokemon, it failed. Except oddly, a message appeared on the screen that said, "Leave now or suffer." Creeped out by this, he shut off the Game Boy to try to get some rest. And as he was trying to fall asleep, he could hear a demonic laugh coming from the Game Boy. Just as he was about to get up to check it, he saw big glowing red eyes and a shiny white smirk in the shadows of his room. Terrified, he closed his eyes and ran to turn on the lights, but before he could reach them, he tripped, breaking his ankle in the process. That's when he sees his Game Boy light up and a text box appear beside a Gengar that just said,
"I guess you chose suffer."
Number 9, Abandoned Pokédoll. This Pokemon Creepypasta is an interesting take on what happens when a once beloved Pokédoll gets left behind. It felt like if Toy Story 3 was a horror movie. The story begins simple enough from the doll's perspective of loving its owner and how it was its favorite doll. And as time passed, it became forgotten and was eventually thrown in the trash. That's when the story takes its dark turn. The doll actually comes to life and seeks out its previous owner. When it arrives at the house where it once resided, it finds a ton of new dolls scattered around the room. It then goes on a rampage, destroying the other dolls and eventually slitting the throat of its previous owner. Number 8, Let Me Serve You. This creepypasta is about a Pokemon event that happened where gamers were given the opportunity to have the Mew character as part of their new event release. The gamer decides to level up the rest of his Pokemon before using Mew, but for some reason, Mew keeps jumping into battle. Even after moving him to the bottom spot several times, he continuously replaces the first Pokemon with a text box appearing that just says, "Mew wants to battle." Another creepy part was that no matter what he tried, Mew would always say, "I want to serve you, let me serve you." And our protagonist was terrified when he restarted his game to find that all of his Pokemon were dead, and their sprites were gray with a red X over the photo. When he tries to leave Mew in a Pokemon Center, his sprite looks angry, and another text box appears that says, "You can't get rid of me," followed by Mew playing the death song. This let out a terrible screeching noise, causing the gamer to black out and wake up in his bed. Believing it was all just a horrible nightmare, he picks up the Game Boy to play again, only to be met with a text box next to Mew that said, "Welcome back, let me serve you." And at number 7, Will I Ever Be Free? This creepypasta is a short, sad, and creepy origin story for the Pokemon known as Yamask. It tells the tale of a Yamask who rested well as a ghost inside of an ancient tomb, only to be tormented by its rebirth. It could remember its past life, even stating that the Pokemon was once human. It despises its new creature-like form that lurks through the night and claims that all it has left is its mask, the mask that represents its face from a past life. It's disgusted by its new life as a ghostly devil that gives its trainer immense power. The author then ends the story tragically with the last line being, "My face was once so beautiful. All I could do was stare at the mask and weep silently to myself.
I can never be free."
In at number 6, You Will Join Us. This creepypasta is about a gamer who loved playing Pokemon Gold and worked so hard to build his team up. When his battery drained, he ended up losing all of his saves. And as a result, he moved on to the newer versions of Pokemon, but when Pokemon Heart Gold was released, he was excited to replay a familiar region. And when he starts the game, Professor Elm greets him by name, except he says welcome back. This was odd, but he continued. He would then say, "They're waiting for you." At this point, he loses control of his character and is now teleported to Lavender Town, where he sees 6 gravestones, all of which had his Pokemon Gold teammates' names written on them. They rose from the graves except in a more pixelated Game Boy Color version, each one confronting the player that he had forgotten them and left them behind. Then one addressed him by name saying,
"We are yours, so if you will not permit us to join you, You will join us.
Immediately after that, his sprite began doing the dig animation, causing the screen to go completely dark. In at number 5, Loss of Purpose. This heartbreaking creepypasta is about the characters in the Pokemon game and what happens when they're left behind. Our protagonist picked up an old copy of Pokemon Red, but noticed that after every trainer or enemy he defeated, they would just say, "Now I shall stand forgotten." This creepy message was alluding to the fact that once you move on in the game, they remain in place with no real use. Eventually our gamer comes into an odd battle with himself. After losing the battle, the enemy then says,
Your purpose has been served. End it all before you exist alone forever.
and when he tried to start a new game, he would only get a message that read,
The dead do not return.
It wasn't until that message that our protagonist realizes the character's fear of a loss of purpose. In at number 4, Whole Again. This creepypasta is about a gamer who was playing Pokemon Black and wished to capture a rare dragon Pokemon that was said to be lurking in the caves. And although along the way he was faced with many creepy signs that warn the dragon needs flesh to survive and to become whole again, he kept seeing this whole again phrasing everywhere he went. He wouldn't come to realize its meaning until he finally battled the mysterious Pokemon. And while in battle, when one of his Pokemon would faint, a piece of them would then now be attached to the enemy's sprite, thus making him whole again. Number 3, The Truth Hurts. This strange occurrence happened when a gamer was playing Pokemon Black and was faced with a creepy as hell Pokemon. When he gets to the final showdown with N, he's faced first with a battle against a wild Reshiram. He knew that his Pokemon weren't adequate enough to defeat this enemy, so he chose to run instead. But to his surprise, a text box just came up that said, "Would you like to give a nickname to Reshiram?" Confused by this, he just names it Truth. And then it was added to his party. Following this, a cutscene showed Reshiram killing N and then using his blood to write the words "Truth hurts, doesn't it?" In at number 2, It's Just a Game. This creepypasta is about a gamer who comes across strange shape-shifting Pokemon. And at one point she believes she sees a Clefairy until it suddenly changes into a Gengar. And then the Gengar just lets out an evil laugh before disappearing. Then, while in the rock tunnel, she's confronted by another Pokemon who at first appears to be an Onix that soon changes to jet black with glowing red eyes. Fully believing at this point that she may have purchased a hacked copy of the game, she continues on to see what else it offers. The dark turn happens when she's faced against an unknown trainer named Aaron, who shockingly resembles her best friend Aaron in real life. And when the battle begins, Aaron first uses a Gengar, and then an all-black Onix, and then her final Pokemon was the Buried Alive character. That's when the Aaron character begins to decay like the Buried Alive character, and as the screen flashed red, she threw her Game Boy aside to call her friend. Her friend Aaron tries to calm her down, saying it's just a game. So once she's calm, she returns to the Game Boy to see the Aaron trainer on the screen, facing her, with the text box that said,
It's just a game, right?
Lastly, at number 1, Life Force. This creepy tale is about a sinister Litwick. A trainer and her Pokemon were traveling through a dark cave when they saw a flickering light in the distance. The Litwick approached and agreed to help guide them through the tunnel. What they didn't know was that Litwick would be slowly draining the energy from her Pokemon. And when her Dewott finally fainted and died, she desperately tried to reach for a Pokeball to assist her, but Litwick wasn't having any of that. The Pokemon then knocked her down onto the ground, and as her energy was rapidly fading, a text box appeared on the screen that said,
Death shines like a candle.
And that has been the top 10 scary Pokemon Creepypastas part 2. Thank you so much for watching. Hit that thumbs up button if you enjoyed this video, and if you're new to the channel, don't forget to subscribe. And if you're craving more videos like this one, because I know you are, just click the playlist on the screen. Plus, let me know down in the comments which creepypasta you enjoyed the most. From Top 10 Gaming, I'm Johnny Rogers, and until next time, take care.